Good morning. Happy Mask Monday. I just don't get how to do these with the paper on it because I put the whole thing on and then I tried to peel the paper off and it ended up all this wadded up mess. And it made it even harder than if I would have peeled the mask off the paper to start with. So I'm mask impaired. This is from Temu. It's an animal facial mask from Moika. That's a little husky dog. I watched this couple of videos of people that have huskies and they practically talk. They're like, Hawk doesn't talk much, just barks at things. Something upset him last night. I wonder if it was fireworks. He was like growling and wanting out, so I finally let him out, like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning. He didn't bark once he got out. He just stayed outside for a while, checking things out, making sure everything was okay, and then he came back in and went to bed. My roommate's dog sitting till Thursday, and then she'll be home for like a week and a half or so, and then she's gonna, the end of the month, she's gonna house sit and dog sit for like, well, she's house sitting and dog sitting this week too, and for a couple weeks. So out of this month, she'll be home like a week and a half maybe. So, this keeps, every time I talk, it sucks in my mouth. And I plan on talking a lot, so I need to fix that. Because this is one of my story times. You wanted to hear more about Japan, so I thought of 3 places we went other than where we initially lived. We lived outside of Tokyo. So while we were there, I don't remember the year, we were there 68 to 72, so it was sometime in that time span. We went down to southern Japan because Tokyo's kind of in the middle to the World's Fair was in Osaka. So my main memory of that, other than, World's Fair's got all the pavilions and, country costumes and food and all that kind of stuff, but the main thing I remember was this one story. I still laugh thinking about it. Japanese toilets, public toilets, sometimes you can get in a house, you can get them more like we use, but first apartment we had was the Japanese style too. The part we would normally sit on is flush with the ground and the bowl goes underneath the floor, so you have to like squat over the toilet. And at the World's Fair they had like our style toilets and Japanese style toilets in the same restroom, and there were big lines for the Japanese style ones because of course it's mostly Japanese going to the World's Fair, but for us, I think gaijin, there's a word for like foreigners. I think it's gaijin. But anyway, for us non-Japanese that like to sit on the toilet, the lines weren't as long. So there was a little old lady in front of me, and she still was wearing a kimono, the traditional dress. She wasn't wearing like Western style clothes, which even back then, we're talking 50, 60 years ago, even back then, they mostly wore Western style clothes, but you'd see, especially the older people would still wear the kimonos. So she, now being my age, I understand, she probably couldn't wait in the big old long line being an older lady. Those of you who are older like me, you understand the whole thing about older ladies and waiting in bathroom lines. So she went in ahead of me, and then when I went in after her, there were 2 little footprints up on the seat. Somehow she had hiked herself up, kimono and all, and got on that seat, so she and squatted that way. And it just made me laugh. It still makes me laugh to this day, just the vision of this little old lady in the kimono hiking it up onto this seat and standing on it. Oh, yes. My first apartment was a Japanese style apartment. And my favorite part of it was it had a drain in the floor, and what you did was we had a tub that was, I think it was 3 foot cubed. So it wasn't a long tub, but it was a deep tub. And it had a heater that went out underneath it, and you heated up the water. It had like a hard rubber thing that you put over the top, and if you didn't watch it, the water would eventually boil, because, you're holding the heat in. But what they do is they have like a scoop thing, and they scoop it out and pour the water, and you wash your hair and you wash your body and stuff, and you rinse off, and then you get in and soak. But you're all clean before you get in. But that was so nice. It was like having a hot tub. So that's my first trip we took. We took it to southern Japan, and then I wish we could have gone during the festival, but we didn't. My husband had to go to northern Japan and to Sapporo, which is, they have snow and ice and stuff up there. You wouldn't think so, but Japan does get snow and ice in the northern tip of it. It's a long, skinny island. So we went there. My husband had, TDY up there. That's temporary duties, what that stands for. And I went along just for the heck of it, And up there they have, I put some pictures, if I can, try and find some pictures of some of their ice sculptures. They had these, it looked like a whole building, but it was made out of ice, or like a Buddha head or whatever. They had all these animals or whatever, all these fantastic ice sculptures. They weren't there when I was there, but I've seen a lot of pictures of it. They have this festival where they spend weeks ahead of time carving these fantastic ice sculptures, and it's so cold out they stay that way. In fact, we had outside our window there was like a little ledge, but it had a lip around it, and we're like, wonder what that's for. And so we finally figured it out, and we put our drinks out there to keep them cold. It's like, instead of having a refrigerator in your room, you just had to open the window and stick them out there in the little ledge out there. So when we first came in, we walked through the lobby, and there was like a hot tub in the middle of the lobby, which I thought was kind of odd. But it was cold, and we decided we'd go down and get in the hot tub. So we get our suits on, and we come back down. I don't know why we took suits, but somebody told us that was a good idea or whatever, so we took our suits. And so we come back down, and there's 3, middle-aged. To me, they were old, but they were probably, but I was 19, so, to me, they were old. They were probably in their 40s, maybe 50s. 3 Japanese gentlemen in the hot tub ahead of us, and it was a big hot tub. So, we weren't embarrassed to go there. We figured we could share it with them, even though we didn't speak the same language. But being the polite people that they are, 3 guys stood up to bow to me, being gentlemen that they were. That's their culture, and I realized they were buck naked, and I'm like, no, don't stand up. Sit down. Thank you very much, but sit down. And we decided, we think we'll come back later. We were out of there. I guess nudity wasn't a big deal. But while he was doing his work, I just wandered around the city and stuff. It was, kind of interesting. So that was, story number 2. Story number 3, we went to, had to go there for 6 weeks. So my baby and I went. My oldest son, he was born in Japan, and he was maybe 2-3 months old at the time. And so we joined him in Okinawa because why not? It's a nice place to visit, and he was going to be gone for a while. In Okinawa at the time, we're talking late 60s, early 70s, after World War II, America took possession of it. And we still, 25 years later, still had possession of it. and there was some kind of treaty or whatever where we would eventually give it back to Japan. But at the time we went there, it was still American owned, and they used American dollars. Everybody spoke English almost. They drove on the same side of the road. The Japanese drive on the other side of the road. They drove on the American side of the road. A lot of American vehicles. A lot of Air Force guys there. You know, I don't know if they were Army and Navy and Marines and stuff, but I knew there were a lot of Air Force guys because my husband was in the Air Force. And the Okinawans did not want to go back under Japanese rule because the Japanese had always treated them kind of like we treated blacks in the South, you know, back in the day. They treated them like second-class citizens, and they did not want to go back. But there's nothing we could do about it. You know, we had that treaty, and we'd promised that after however 30 years or whatever it was, we'd give them back. So they are currently back under Japanese rule, and I think it's better now. But I think for a while it was kind of hard, and that because it was so Americanized there, it was easy to just hang out and walk around and, you know, did stuff on base, met some other people, met some Okinawans. Okinawa is a very beautiful island. It's south of Japan. We had to fly, so it's not super close. Couldn't like just take a ferry to it. Don't know how far away they are, but far enough away where they could be two different countries pretty easily, but that's not the case. They belong to Japan. So those are my 3 stories. I'm going to later this week, especially it's easier when my roommate's not here, because I don't really like filming when she's here. I don't want to bother her, and, you know, I don't want her interrupting me, so I don't usually film when she's home. So since she's going to be gone, she's gone a lot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I can pretty much film when I want because she's hardly ever home. And it'll get worse when school starts again. Right now she's working part-time at the church, but she stays there a lot anyway, even though when she's not working. And then she's going to start going to school part-time and get her, well, I guess it's full-time, because it's going to take 2 more years and she'll have her bachelor's. She's got her AA now. She got that in May, but anyway, when I got off track. What I'm going to do this week, probably have several videos, so I may put them all like different days this week, or I might space them out over the weeks, because I have a ton of short sleeve tops. This is pajamas, but you know, I have a ton of short sleeve tops. And I've been doing the, you know, clean out my closet thing where I take a few at a time and try them on for y'all, and you tell me, get rid of this, keep this. I'm going to continue to do that with these short sleeve tops I've got, but I've got probably 30 of them, and that's too many to do at once, so I'll probably do them in maybe 3 sets, you know, 3 groups of 10, something like that. Some of them I know I'll keep, like that one I had on yesterday. It's relatively new. It's red, white, and blue, and I got a lot of compliments on it. So that one I'm not even going to show you because you just saw it yesterday, plus I know for sure I'm going to keep it. And there's one I just got from Stitch Fix. I know for sure I'm going to keep that one. So stuff like that are real recent, and y'all have seen them and told me, you know, what you thought of them. I won't put those on there. So it's been 15 minutes. So we'll take this off. I don't know, it's not soaking in very good. So that wig I bought, I don't know if I told you all this, I don't remember. I put it on, I was gonna wear it to my small group, church small group. So I had this all bundled up in the back underneath. There's all this blob of big old thick hair I've got. And I'm driving to go there, and it starts sliding, and it slides right off because of the weight of my actual hair pulling on the wig and just pulled it right off. But one of my friends said she used to wear wigs and she'd pin them on with bobby pins. I didn't even think of that. So I might try that before I get rid of it, because I went to send it back to Temu and they're just like, here's your money back, just keep it. So I'm like, okay. So I have it. So I'm trying to figure out how to wear it, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be too successful wearing it because I have too much hair of my own. So I don't know what I'll do with it. Whether I'll give it to, like, there's a place nearby called Twice as Nice. It's kind of like a Goodwill, but a little more higher class as far as the stuff they sell. But it's all the money goes to a crisis pregnancy center, so I like to support that. And I know several people that work there or volunteer there. Well, I work there, but they're in a volunteer capacity because they've got like a director of it and like a manager, but everybody else is all volunteers. Hey, quit biting your feet. Stop. I don't know. I've got on the way, I went to my groomer and just got his nails clipped. And she recommended this stuff. It's just a little drop she put on their food, and it's supposed to help with their allergy itching, because she looked at his tummy and, looked at his fur and stuff and said that she thinks it's like an allergy to whatever, fleas he's on flea prevention stuff, but that prevents them from living on them. It doesn't prevent them from biting them. But I don't really see any real major flea issues on him, but he's allergic to something. But from what I hear, the doggy allergies or pet allergies this year are really bad. My allergies have been really bad. Stop chewing your feet. Hey, stop. Good boy. He keeps chewing at his paws. So anyway, back to the subject. I'm gonna do the help me cull my closet thing. I'm also working on, I'll show you when it's done. You've seen my craft room before. I had like a big table in it, and then all my craft cubbies and things, cubes and things where I store everything. But somebody gave me a twin-sized bed, and I crammed it in there, but it doesn't really fit very well, because I thought if I ever have somebody that needs a place to sleep, I don't have a bed for them, other than my roommate's bed, but she's using that. So I took this bed, and it's too crowded in there. I'll show you a little clip of it the way it is. And then I bought the smaller table, just something small to craft on. I don't need, the one that's in there is like 6 feet. I don't really need one that big. So it's a folding table, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna fold it up, put it out in the garage somewhere. I don't know where, find some place to put it. And then put this little table up and put the bed against the wall, so it's not, right now it's smack in the middle of the room. And then the table's against the wall, and there's like no room to walk even, hardly. So I bought this little table on Amazon. It's like, I don't know, 39 inches by 22 inches, something like that. So it's not real big, so I can put it up next against the window and the bed against the wall. Right now the boy has been getting on the bed, and then he gets up in the window, and I went in there, well, when I show you a picture, a little clip of it, when I start working on it, there's a little, it looks like a bird's nest or something. There's a little pile of sticks in the middle of the bed where he brings sticks from outside and then bites them into pieces. And I find little piles of sticks, so there's this little nest of sticks that he's made in the middle of the bed. Silly boy. You're a silly boy, aren't you? Are you my silly boy? He knows I'm talking about him. He's giving me the stink eyes, like, quit talking about me, Mama. All right, that's it. That's it for story time for now. I probably could come up with more Japanese stories if you enjoy them. And I'll try and put, like, I think I've got a picture of the toilets. It's in black and white, but, and I've got a couple pictures I found online of some of the ice sculptures, so I'll try and put some of those in. If I can find the right spot to stick them in, or I might just stick them all at the end. So you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Alrighty, love y'all, and thank you. If you haven't noticed, I reached 100,000, not 100,000, gee, I wish, 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. So I tried watching my own videos to see if it would make my watch hours go up. If you watch your own videos, it doesn't make a difference in your watch hours, I've discovered. I'm like, that's not fair. If I want to watch them, shouldn't those count? But no, they don't count. So anyway, time to get some clothes on, do something with my hair and face and stuff. Not that I'm probably going anywhere. I've got, this floor is so dirty from him tracking dirt and mud and stuff in. I mean, when I walk on it, you know, when you walk outside and it feels gritty on your feet, that's how my floor is, at least this one spot by the couch where he gets up and down off the couch. It's all like gritty feeling. It's like, I just vacuumed day before yesterday and it's all gross again, so I'm gonna vacuum and then I'm gonna scrub. Fun. And then I gotta do the same in the bathroom and do laundry and all those exciting things. So I'm really not going anywhere today. I've got chores to do. Although I might go, I'm not going to let my friend that sort of ghosted me stop me from, I was going and doing the water walking with her. And there's no reason I can't go by myself, although, you know, it's better to have somebody to talk to, but I can still go do it myself. It's exercise. So I might go do it today or maybe Wednesday morning. I don't know. But I definitely want to start doing that again. I am going ahead and doing it. I went ahead and did the Friday water aerobics, dance aerobics, they call it. It's outdoor water aerobics with a dance theme. I went ahead and did that on Friday, and I want to at least do the water walking another, you know, so at least twice a week I'm doing something in the water. If I still lived at my kids' house, I'd be out swimming 3 or 4 days a week, swimming laps. Well, the last summer I was there, I swam. I started like 20 laps, 10, maybe even 10, as low as 10. And then by the end of summer, I was doing 60 laps several times a week. And I wish I still had there's a community pool, but I can't find anything about it online anymore. I don't know if it's still open and how much it costs and all that, because it's just, you know, half a mile from me. But it's usually full of kids. But I wonder if there's some time where it's for adults only, where I could go swim laps. I don't know. And I bought those booties for the boy to take him for walks, but I don't want to go out in the heat either. Maybe in the evening when it cools off a little bit. That's the trouble with Texas. When I lived in Sacramento, it does get hot, can get up to 100. But it cools off in the evenings to like maybe 70. But here, I was looking, and it's going to be 101 to 103, and that doesn't count the heat index, all week. And it gets down to like, the coolest it gets is like maybe 5 or 6 in the morning, and it gets to like 86, 87 degrees. So it doesn't really cool down. A lot of other places, they get the heat we do, but they get the cooler evenings, but we don't get that. We get hot and then slightly less hot. That's what we get here in Texas. Alrighty, enough rambling. You guys have probably left long ago, but if you haven't, look for the pictures. I'll stick them at the end.